My father leaned into the microphone like it was a weapon he'd polished for this room. The gala glittered. Champagne, satin, chandeliers, while speeches droned and rich people pretended to listen. He flashed a grin at the crowd, then let it turn mean. "Here comes the family beggar," he said. The room rewarded him instantly. Laughter, quick and slick. Miles, my brother, didn't even bother to meet my eyes. "I wish I'd never been related to her," he added, calm as an invoice. My mother stared at the centerpiece, as if roses could swallow sound. I didn't argue. I didn't move. Years of being dismissed had taught me the safest shape was stillness. I stood at the aisle in a simple black dress I'd bought myself, my hands empty, my face steady, my throat tight in the old familiar way. My father held the mic up, waiting for the next wave. Instead, a chair scraped near the stage. Caleb Vaughn, the CEO everyone had come to impress, stepped forward. He didn't reach for the microphone. He didn't need to. His voice slid through the ballroom and cut the laughter cleanly in half. "Ladies and gentlemen," he said, and the crowd quieted like someone had flipped a switch. "Before we continue, there's something you need to understand about her." Silence spread. I watched heads turn. Stage to me to my father, back again. A glass hovered in midair. A smile dissolved on someone's lips. My father's fingers tightened around the microphone as if pressure could change the plot. Caleb's gaze found mine and held. For the first time all night I felt seen, sharp, undeniable, and I knew the story my family loved to tell was about to collapse. Caleb didn't let the hush drift. He nodded at the screens behind him, and a montage flickered, storefronts, workshops, hands passing over loan papers. "She didn't come here for attention," he said. "She came because this summit honors the people who kept commerce alive when bigger institutions looked away. 5 years ago, we opened a single-room office with 2 desks and one rule: we don't prey on the desperate." A murmur tried to start and died. My clutch felt heavy. Inside it, the brass key to that first office lay warm against my fingers, ridged like a promise I'd kept. I'd brought it tonight out of habit, a talisman against old stories. Caleb's gaze moved, deliberate, to my father. "Mr. Grant Hale," he said, and my father flinched at his full name in that room. "You've joked about a beggar. Let's correct the record." My mother's mouth parted. Miles's drink stalled halfway to his lips. Caleb faced the crowd again. "Harbor Line exists because my partner refused to accept that stability is reserved for the already wealthy. She built our risk models. She negotiated our first capital. She called clients back at midnight. She earned every inch of what you're about to applaud." Heat climbed my neck, not from shame, something cleaner. The part of me trained to shrink tried once and failed. "Come up here, Elena," Caleb said. My name hit the ballroom like a bell. I stepped into the aisle, faces turned, recalibrating. My father's grip loosened on the microphone as if it had become useless metal. I walked toward the stage, key biting into my palm, and for the first time in my life I didn't feel like an afterthought. I felt inevitable. Caleb stepped aside. The podium waited. I set my notes down and placed the brass key beside the microphone. It clicked. "I grew up in a house where silence was currency," I began. "If you wanted peace, you paid with your voice." The room tightened, then stilled. "So I learned to build quietly. I learned that numbers don't care who your father favors. They add up all the same." I glanced to the back. My father sat rigid. Miles stared as if the stage were a screen he could swipe away. My mother's eyes shone with recognition, late and sharp. "This key opened our first office," I said, lifting it. 2 desks, 1 lamp, no pedigree, just work. Every client we kept out of ruin bought me back a piece of myself." I turned the key once, then closed my fist. Tonight doesn't erase what was said about me. It doesn't rewrite my childhood. But it ends the lie. Applause rose, fuller now, but I didn't drink it in. I stepped down, found Caleb, and let him squeeze my shoulder, steadying, not claiming. Behind me, the screens showed our clients' faces, tired, hopeful, real, and I remembered why I'd chosen this fight. When my mother approached, I kissed her cheek and kept moving. When my father rose, mouth opening, I raised a hand. "Call me when you have something real to say," I told him. Then I walked out into the cold Hartford air, the key warm in my pocket, and I felt unlocked.